All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another spotlight session. Today I am talking to Stella, who is the winner of one of my challenges from the previous month. Welcome, Stella. How are you today?
Thank you, Yana. I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a privilege and an honor to be here today, and I'm excited.
I'm
Looking
also
forward.
I'm also very excited. Actually, you are so active in the challenges almost I don't know how many months now. Finally,
Yeah,
I have you.
finally. Finally. Yeah. Those challenges have been so good, right? Yeah, keeping me accountable and consistent. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
happy to finally be here.
Yes, me too, me too. Yeah, that's why I created them to help people stay consistent and deliver and basically help you grow. Um, so yeah, yeah. Okay. So for those of the people who don't know you yet in the community, probably it's a very small part of them, but still, would you please say a few words about you so that they know?
All right. So my name is Stella Chibike. I'm in Nigeria and I live in Nigeria. Nigeria is in West Africa.
Yeah.
Right. I'm a wife. I'm a mother to two beautiful girls.
Okay.
I have a I work. So my career is my expertise is in I've done fintech all my life and financial technology. So I've currently I do product development, product management. I've done customer support. I've done business analysis,
Yeah.
systems integration, business processes optimization. But currently I'm focused on product development, product management. Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's great.
I work in fintech. Yes,
Yeah, so we have a lot
yes.
in a lot of similar things, a lot of in common.
Yes, yes. I when I read some of your articles where you talk about your 9 to 5, I see that we have some things in common
Yeah, yeah,
on that aspect.
yeah. But yeah, I'm also so basically my whole experience went in the telecom, building subscription services for like
Mm.
and selling them. But also I have been working with a lot of fintech services as well. So I was developing.
Yeah, because fintechs would typically consume telco services, so sending messages to their customers, right? So yeah.
We do have a
And
lot of
also so
yeah,
yeah, we do. Yeah. And also I'm sure there's some embedded services that you offer
yeah.
fintechs on their apps, on their banking apps or their mobile apps, right? So I have an idea about that as well.
Yeah, great, great, amazing. Right. Okay. Yeah, maybe we can talk about this like offline.
Yes,
Okay.
later. Offline.
Yeah. Okay.
Offline.
How about Substack? What brought you to Substack?
My Substack journey.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my Substack journey started or was born out of a desire to create a space where
Yeah.
parents and children grow side by side, right?
Yeah.
So think personal growth, self-development, intentional living, all weave together
Yeah.
into with conscious parenting. But before I even get into what the Substack is about, so how did I even get onto Substack? Why did I start writing? So when I became a mother, because of course, most of the things that I'm talking about is really conscious parenting and intentional living. But when I became a mother, I knew that I wanted to parent differently
Yeah.
from the way I was parented. And that led me to start seeking more knowledge.
Yeah.
And the more I sought knowledge, the more I realized that I needed the knowledge for myself. So I thought I was seeking knowledge to be able to parent better,
Yeah.
but then it was more about it was more about being a better person. So the more I sought knowledge on that topic, the more I started feeling I started having this restlessness or this, when you have a feeling that you're actually meant for more,
Yeah.
but I couldn't quite place what that more was. I couldn't quite put it into words. I just knew that I wasn't where I really wanted to be. Now, fast forward to last year, my dad passed early last year, and my dad has always been someone who writes. He had a few books that he's written before he passed. He has a lot of poems. He used to grow up learning about he taught us skills through storytelling. So he would sit us down and, for example, use the Six Blind Men and the Elephant poem, for instance, to teach
Yeah.
us about
Yeah.
perspectives, right? He will use, different poems to teach us about, different things in life. So he was that kind of person.
Yeah.
And someone who took after him the most, we're three of us, so I have two other siblings.
Yeah.
So when my dad passed, I went home and, to be with my siblings. And I remember finding myself in his room and I was just going through his things,
Mm.
going through his books, his collections,
Yeah.
his short stories and all of that. And it just hits me that they look at this. This was a man who he didn't leverage technology. I mean, he didn't have the access to the tools that we have today,
Yeah.
but he was able to make tremendous impact, even if it was just within the community that he had access to, because he was a man of impact, even if it was just for our own community. And it was right there that, when you've been wanting to put something into words,
Yeah.
that was when it dawned on me that I really needed to put myself out there. Whatever it was, whatever message I was trying to pass across, I needed to put myself out there. I didn't have anything figured out. I just knew that I needed to write. I was going to start writing. I don't know what that writing was going to be, but I was going to start writing, because if my dad could do this and make this level of impact, then what was stopping me? So it just felt like he was passing on the legacy for me to just,
Yeah.
continue in that trajectory. And that was really when that more that I had been trying to define, that was when it was, it came out, it was projected at me. And I said, you know what, I was going to start writing. Now I had known about Substack for about 2 years, even though I just knew people write there and all of that. But so that was naturally the first platform that came to mind, not necessarily because I had any advantage, it had any advantage for me at the time. I just knew that, oh, there was a platform called Substack. I said, okay, this
Yeah.
was where I was going to start writing. So that was really how my journey on Substack started. Yeah.
That's a beautiful story, actually, Stella. Really, it's an amazing thing. So it's kind of a legacy. So sorry about your dad. So sorry about your dad.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
You
you.
now actually you are continuing his legacy, basically.
Yes, yes. Even though we're saying, I mean, we're saying different things. He wasn't talking about parenting. He loved stories a lot. He wrote a lot of poems. He had a lot of poems that he wrote. He
Yeah.
wrote his, he wrote about two, three, four books, all born out of community development, being a man of impact in community, So yeah, and I learned a lot from him. He was someone who took parenting really seriously. Most of the things that I know and I implement in my own home. Yes, even though he didn't have any manual to pass these things through, but just by the way we grew up with
Yeah.
him, these things just naturally just reflect in how I'm also parenting my children. And that's something that I found very, very key when I became a mother.
Yeah.
Parenting is so reflective. You really do not have a choice than to think personal growth or personal development when you want to parent it, because every single action you take, whether it's by your thoughts or your words or your deeds, they are reflective. Your children are consciously
So
and unconsciously imbibing them. And I mean, so many things that I even didn't like when I was growing up, I realized that I was actually carrying them out when I started parenting. And that's part of what led me into seeking knowledge on, being a conscious parent. Yes. So,
yeah, yeah. No, that's really important. So I don't have kids myself. I have a great
hmm.
crazy dog. She,
Nice. Is she or he?
she,
Is she? What's her name?
yeah, her name is Ira. And
Okay.
she is a Jack Russell. And
Okay.
she's really crazy, very crazy dog. But I learned something similar when, because we
Hmm.
took her as a baby, like 3 months of a baby, and we had to raise her. She wasn't trained in anything. It was really a hard time, a very hard time, and it's really, and you have to have a
I
lot of,
can imagine.
yes, and that's when when I talk about her, so people say that it's actually the same with children. I'm not sure, but that's how I learned that I actually have to trust her and not tell her what to do, but rather leave her to do whatever she wants. And then she started
Mm.
trusting me back. And then that was the moment that she started listening, actually.
Exactly, exactly. So indeed, because yes, they are children, or your dog in this case, but
Yeah.
then you also need to help allow them to make their mistakes, allow them to reason, allow them to make their own, take their own decisions and learn from it. That's really the best way to teach them. Yes. So
Yeah.
yes, they are like children, dogs. They are
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Initially, I was thinking that I had to, I have to tell her what to do, to be very strict, and so that she learns. But actually, it was just the other way around. I had to let her do whatever she wants to do. It was so funny. So
exactly.
yeah, when she was training to, when she was a baby, and we were taking her out for the very first times, and she always wanted to get out of the leash and run away from us like very fast. And I was always scared, and I was like, oh my god, I will never be able to walk this dog without a leash. And but then I decided to unleash, like unlock her from the leash, and let
Mhm.
her run, because she's a Jack Russell, she wants to run. And
She
it
wants to run.
yeah, it was a safe place for her to run, so she couldn't run away that in a dangerous place. And that's when I saw that she was running, 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 and then always come back to me. And
Definitely, definitely, definitely. Just the way you also allow children explore, play, of course, within a safe space. Allow them express, allow them explore. They
yeah,
would always come back, and there's always a lot for them to learn.
yeah, yeah. And they're curious creatures. Also with kids, I observe from our friends and other families that it's just normal. They just want to explore and touch and taste everything. So you have to allow them.
Everything, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's really
They
amazing.
have no care in the world. They just want to explore. They just want to be curious. They just want, and that's why, as we grow, we now start letting fear inhibit, our actions. We're no longer as adventurous as we used to be, or
Yeah,
because, we're scared.
yeah,
But as a child has no, that's why a baby would want to climb everywhere, not never minding that, some of these things are not safe. So we just need to keep, you know,
yeah,
building that curiosity in children, and even for us as well. We need
yeah.
to always, we all have a child in us. We should always bring out that child in us. Yeah.
But that's really interesting and actually important what you're saying, because we all have that child within us, but we are kind of suppressing it, and it has to be the other way around. We actually have to let it shine through us, so that's how our true personality and true talents can thrive and help us actually achieve
Exactly.
whatever we want to achieve. So
Exactly.
sometimes we're
Without thinking, what is this
yeah,
person going to say? Or, can I do this? A child just does it, doesn't
yeah,
analyze anything. So we need to go back to that inner child. We all have an inner child in us. Yes.
yes, yes. Is that what your Substack is about? What are you talking about on your Substack? I know it's about parenting, but what can you share more?
So my Substack was born out of a desire to create a space where parents and children grow side by side.
Yeah,
And that's where the name Becoming Together really came from. So we are becoming
yeah,
on this journey together,
yeah,
because you would typically find conversations around building a child
yeah,
separate, or you find conversations around being a better person, living intentionally, personal growth, on a separate platform. But my publication is weaving both together. Why? Because as a parent, you cannot raise a thriving child
yeah,
if you yourself are not raising yourself. You cannot, it's not about telling your child, oh, you need to be a better person. It's about you being that better person so that your child sees it,
yeah,
reflects it, does it naturally without you having to have lectures or sit down with the child to explain, just by the way you are living your life, you are consciously and unconsciously raising better children in the process. Because I'll usually say that as parents, we are the first and most effective teachers in a child's life. So imagine that influence. It's really unmatched when you are the first and the most effective
Yeah.
in a child's life. So that influence is unmatched, and it is a responsibility and a privilege that we carry. So you have to take it seriously. You don't have a choice but to take it seriously.
Yeah.
And taking it seriously means that you're taking your own growth seriously. So
Yeah.
it's not about reading children's books or it is about raising yourself first.
Yeah.
So on my platform or on my newsletter, I share reflection stories, ideas that encourage parents to see learning and growth as a family journey. So as your child is growing, you are also growing. As your child is learning, you are, in fact, I learned so much from when I'm consciously teaching
Mm.
my children. I learned so much,
Mm.
so much. So that's really what I write on Substack. So think personal growth, self-development, intentional living, all weave together with conscious parenting. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what becoming together is all about.
Yeah, yeah. It's it's really amazing how we influence other people and especially children at home by just our presence and the way that we feel and look and behave. It's amazing. I think not much people realize that, especially when it comes to raising children and it's amazing because that example that children get as a first from their parents, it's actually it doesn't matter whether it's good or bad. The child takes it as the right thing,
Yes.
and then replicates.
Even when and it gets even more interesting, even when the child knows deep down within him or her that it is not the right thing,
Yeah.
sometimes they don't even have a choice. Sometimes it just happens by reflex.
Yes.
I'll give you an example. Growing up, my generation, I'm sure, I don't know if you also experienced that, but growing up, I had strict parents.
Yeah.
My mom was really strict. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what she knew. She knew, so it was tough love, basically. Of course, she's trying to instill discipline,
Yeah.
but then doing it in a very strict way.
Yeah.
And we didn't have, and so because of that, we didn't have the opportunity to have, the kind of connection where you could just sit down, have
Yeah.
a chit chat. It was much later
Yeah.
when I had started when I had when I had gotten married and started raising children that we started having those kind of conversations. But growing up, we didn't have the opportunity I didn't have the opportunity to sit down with her and, have conversations
Yeah.
that could, we could bond and all of that.
Yeah.
And I started to, and I didn't like it growing up. I didn't like it because when I became a mother, I saw how other parents, and the children related, and I wish that I had that kind of relationship. And I remember always telling myself that I was going to do better. But when I became a mother, before I started learning,
Yeah.
every single thing that I said I would not do, I was doing them. So when my daughter would make a mess, I would
Exactly.
yell at her.
Yeah.
I will be so upset. I will be. But these are the things that I said I wouldn't do. So even when so
Yeah.
you see how relative it is. But because of the fact that you now pause. So after a while, I will pause and I'm like, oh my God, I don't like what is going on.
Yeah.
I didn't this is not what I really wanted to do. And so that's really what even made me start
Yeah.
seeking knowledge. So you find out that you're unconsciously taking these habits and you're consciously dish them out. So it is so important to curate intentional actions when you're raising children because they are going to reflect it, whether they like it or not,
Yeah.
they will reflect them. So it is so you really need to ensure that the good is about 80 to 90%. Of course, I mean, there's no perfect person anywhere, but
Yeah.
the more the more of the good you reflect, at least you are sure that they've taken in, the positive ones, and yeah, they can learn from the negative ones. So I
Yeah.
found myself doing some of those things that I said that I didn't like growing up.
Yeah.
And that's when, if I wasn't intentional about being a better person, I probably would have just carried on. But because of that intentionality, then that's when I started to seek, okay, so how can I really do better? How can I be better than
Yeah.
what I currently know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But how can you actually do that consciously? I think it's very difficult.
very,
Yeah.
very difficult, but not impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, with everything that every kind of change in life, or every time you want to maybe do learn new things or do things differently, you have to take that into. It's not going to be easy. It's not rock. It's not plug and play. You have to. It's like someone who wants to start taking fitness seriously. Every morning you have to wake up at 4 a.m. or something to jog. It's not going to be easy because you've never done that before. But then you have to keep being intentional about making an effort.
Yeah.
And then of course some days you're going to sleep, some days will be messy,
Yeah.
some days you're going to just get everything wrong, but you
Yeah.
need to give yourself grace. It's not so much about getting it right all through, it's about that progress. So 4 days, 4 out of 5 days you did it correctly, or one day you sleep, that's fine. Give yourself grace, learn and move on, and
Yeah.
just keep. It's always about, like I always say, every single day, what is one small thing that you have done to just move forward? And
Yeah.
even if you've not done anything to move forward that day, it's fine. I mean, there's always tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So you keep up going. Just like on Substack, I mean, sometimes it's so overwhelming, but at the end of the day, okay, what is one small way that I can show up? If
Mm.
it's just one note, one like, whatever it is I can do, I
Yeah.
just keep doing it. Yes, because you just have to. There's no other way. You really just have to. And I think another thing that really helps me, and I think would also help people, is when you are motivated internally. So I'm not very. I get motivated by myself, right? So yeah, I mean, it's good to have people who motivate you, maybe coaches, mentors, and all of that. But at the end of the day, you have to sit yourself down and talk to yourself. So yeah, sometimes I feel down and all of that, but I find ways to talk to myself and pick myself up. I do reflections a lot. I like sitting still in silence. I love silence a lot. I
Yeah.
can be by myself a whole year
So,
and I'm fine
yeah.
with it. Right. So if you find quiet to reflect on your thoughts, reflect on your actions, just sit still, zone out the noise and all of the distractions around you. And there's a lot of distractions these days. You find ways to just cope, and just pull yourself back up here, even when you have, had a messy day or done something that you shouldn't have done.
Yeah, yeah. It's it's actually a whole mindset training which you just shared right now. It's amazing.
Definitely, which
Yeah.
I know you're very, very, also very good at.
Yeah,
You talk
yeah.
about it a lot.
Yeah,
You talk
approach it
about it a lot.
yeah, thank you so much. Yes. Yeah, I'm actually curious what you think about. I think you refer to the mindset part of my quests, right? Or
Oh, your Substack quest.
yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
What do you
Very
think about?
good.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's very good. Yana, you're someone who, I mean, I think from the very first day I subscribed to your
Yeah.
publication, I knew I was going to become a paid subscriber. I mean, it was that easy. It was that uh, there are very few people who give very tangible
Thank you.
benefits, very tangible. You see a same with what you're getting immediately. I didn't even need to become one or talk to someone, but I just knew that you're actually delivering. And you talk a lot about, you use a lot of your experience from your 9 to 5. And
True.
I say that, you're just someone that inspires me a lot. So
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's amazing. Yes, yes, actually, I have a unique kind of, I have built, it's just happened to be so. So I have built this unique set of skills from my 9 to 5 job. It's like the product and then the sales. from my experience, and then also the mindset part because of working with people, because I'm in leadership position, so I had to. And
Mhm.
because I realized that this skill, actually this skill set, if I don't master this, I'm gonna fail. Because when you
Mm.
become a leader, so many people think that it's the easiest part to do, the easiest, so it's something to strive to get
Mm.
promoted, to lead people and so
Mm.
on. But actually it's the toughest
That's
part.
the hardest part. That's the toughest. That is the toughest part.
Because you have to have, it's the most, I don't know how it is,
The complex,
yeah.
it's
And
it's multifaceted.
yes, also, but those you are basically, especially when you're middle management. So the moment that you go up, then it gets easier, of course. But when I was like in the middle, like I had people to lead, and then I had superior
I
lead.
had people
Yes, and then you are, so everybody is not happy with you, everybody is not happy. So top
not happy with
management
you.
is wants you to deliver more and more, and your people are always, complaining because
Yeah,
of,
you're stressing them so much.
and,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I
nobody
can
asks
imagine.
you, yeah, and nobody asks you how do you feel
How
actually.
you feeling? You just have to deliver, get it done.
Yes. so so I had to deal with myself and my own emotions about that, and then I had to deal with the emotions of my people because I had to deliver, and the only way I can do that is through them. And then I
Mm.
also had to learn how to influence the upper leadership so that I can grow. And
Mm.
and this was actually what made me go that deep into the mindset and those self-development skills. Then I found out about neuro-linguistic programming. It's
Mm.
the dark magic of of those things.
NLP.
Yes, NLP.
I did a stint with I did a stint on data science, I think 2 years ago thereabouts. Yeah. I didn't go so in depth, but I
Yeah,
just have some idea around that, yeah.
yeah. No, it's a great thing to do. I
Mm.
highly
Python
recommend
programming.
to everyone who is interested in those things, because it's actually happening all of the time. We are influencing each other through those patterns that are mapped.
Mm-hmm.
It's just mapping of patterns there, and you are actually getting conscious of what's happening through your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So that I think
Exactly.
it's very important. And if you know it, then I mean, you have leverage if you know it, if you are educated about it, so that you know at every
Yes.
time what's happening around you. But most people don't, and they think that you are some kind of, um, um,
Superhero.
yes,
You are actually, you are.
yeah, yeah,
Better believe it.
yeah. And some people think that you're manipulating people.
Manipulative.
Yeah, but there is actually a very, you are always influencing, you want it or not, just by your presence, and it's scientifically proven. Actually, there are experiments where people, so one person sits at the one corner of a public a cafe or restaurant, I don't remember, and then the other
Okay.
person is sitting at the other corner, and they do not have even eye contact, but they're just present there, and there are other people doing stuff. But then if one person, without saying a word, just tries to influence the other person by behavior, only behavior, then the other person starts mirroring the same behavior. It's
The
really
same behavior.
amazing. Yeah, an amazing
It
experiment,
is.
just by,
Yes.
because we are creatures of energy, and this energy connects. And
Connect,
yeah,
attracts and connects. Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's a very important thing to understand, another, because in all facets of life, this applies in
yes,
everything. We're just talking about, how this is reflective on our children as parents. So
yeah,
it applies in all aspects of life. Yeah, so
yes,
it's an important thing to keep in mind.
yeah. It's a universal language, and
It
skill.
is. It
So if
is
you learn this thing, you're gonna be successful in any part of your life.
any part of your life,
Yes,
any part.
yes,
Any part. And I've learned so much just by being out there. I mean, I think there was a day I wrote a note about it. Say, I thought I was right. I came out to write. No, I actually came out to change my life, because the more you write, the more you meet. I mean, I met you through Substack and saw that amazing
Yeah.
writers, and you just realize that you're just learning new things every day. You just change your life. I mean, everybody should actually write.
Yes.
You should write because we all have a story. We all have something to
Yeah.
share. We all have a to share. Yeah.
And actually, I believe you become a better person just by writing. It's
It's
really,
it, it's so true. It's so true that has happened in my life over the past 1 year. It's amazing. It's amazing what I've learned so far.
also, yeah. I also first when I started, I thought that it's gonna be tough, or it's just another skill that I will have to master. But actually, it's like having a child or a dog, so it makes you a better person.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Yes.
And I mean, going through life, because there's life already has its own challenges. There's already a lot of things to deal with or to contend with. So I mean, this is an opportunity to make something good out of just living your life, or
Yeah.
just I mean, it's not good enough. That's why when I was in those phases, there was just this burning desire to do better, to be better,
Yeah.
you know. Even I just didn't know how to express that yet, but I just knew that I didn't just want to just come through and just go like that. No.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
needed to make some sort of impact, no matter how little.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Stella,
Mhm.
since we are on the challenge part, anything can you share, because people are going to be interested, can you share some of your challenges on Substack and how did you address them? Any lessons learned, any best practices that you could transfer to other people?
So in terms of best practices, I would say, I mean, you're not challenge number one. I mean, I'm someone who's been fairly consistent when it came down
Mindset.
to
Yeah.
notes. I try to
Yeah.
post at least once a day then. But when you are in a challenge, it's a bit different because
Yeah.
the challenge helps me to stay all through the month posting
Yeah.
at least once. I try to do sometimes twice, 3 times a day. But at least I try to post something every single day.
Yeah.
Of course, likes, comments on other people's notes as well. I also use the chat feature to spark community conversations. I try to do that at least once or twice a week. I'm also active in other people's publication chats because it's really all about reaching out. It's we were just talking about the humans and the energy attracting and all of that. You can't just just be there and just keep posting yours and not trying to engage. I've also started connecting via DMs and more recently joining live sessions. I'm also planning on being more active on hosting my own live sessions because, like I said earlier, at the core of it is that engagement, the interactions, the community building. I'm trying to do the much I can with the features of the platform so that my audience can find me and to also find my tribe. So I'll say, in a nutshell, just being consistent, but of course, not just being consistent, just keep doing. I always try to say that let it be authentic, let it not be forced, let it find your own rhythm, find what works for you. So I was just talking about daily notes. If you can do 10, by all means do so.
Yeah.
But if you can do only 3, I mean, do what works for you. No need to overwhelm yourself or
Yeah.
pressure yourself, that much. And then of course reach out. You can't stay all by yourself. It's like going to a place filled with people and
Yeah.
you're just, you're not trying to make friends. You're not talking to anyone there. You just come in and keep to yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
it may be noticeable. Yeah, people may just notice you because they're like, oh, who is this one keeping to themselves? But
Yeah.
then they will look away, and for those who even notice, they probably won't stay for so long because they don't feel welcomed. Then, of course, if you can join communities, paid memberships, if you can, find people who you admire their work. There will always be people that are ahead of you. Find them, join those communities, cohorts, masterminds, workshops. That way you're learning from those ahead of you. And you will also, beyond that, you also find your tribe within
Yeah.
that community as well. Something I'm also trying to implement that I hear from people like you and those that are ahead of me are, treat your newsletter as a business.
Yeah.
That means it's a long-term thing. I mean, except it's a hobby to you, but then if it's something that you want to make something out of, treat it as a business that it is,
True.
have goals, have vision, long-term, short-term, mid-term plans. And, that's also something that I'm currently, I'm actively looking to, okay, how can I keep ensuring that this is not just a hobby? Because when I started writing, of course, everybody started out as, oh, let's write. I like to write. But
Yeah.
then along the line, you realize that it's really, really way beyond writing. I mean, we are just talking about mindset.
Yeah.
We've talked about community. There is so much human interaction. I mean, there is so much information out there. How do you differentiate yourself? How do you stand out? Those are all of the aspects of treating your newsletter, your publication as a business. So these are some of the things that I think are best practices that I'm currently doing, or also in my own roadmap or my own growth journey as I build this
Yeah.
this newsletter called Becoming Together. Yeah.
That's actually a mini course right now that you have for growth that you that you just shared and mentioned. And yes, I can confirm everything that you said works really well.
Mm.
You just have to do the work and stay consistent with it.
Just have to. You
Yes.
just have to. There is no shortcut. There's no shortcut. You really just have to do the work
Yeah.
at your own pace, of course. No need to be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Even doing things at your own pace, sometimes you could get overwhelmed because of other commitments, work, 9 to 5, family, and all of that. But just even if you fall off the grid, get back up. Where did you where did you stop? Pick yourself up again. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
going, because you don't want to look back. And I think was it Tim then in someone's publication, I read something about listing some of the things he learned, and he said, or maybe when he's in his 90s or something, he doesn't want to have regrets, or so he wants to have memories, something like that. So
Exactly. Yeah.
most that you can, right? So that when you are 90 in your 90s, and you're looking back, oh, you're happy, you're fulfilled. Oh, I did my best, yeah.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
that's
Exactly.
the kind of memories that we want to keep, not, or if I wish I could have done this, I wish I had done that. No.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So yeah, that's why I also always say that if you want to do something, you just have to do it and go for it, even if it's
Just go
difficult.
for it.
Because the worst part is to have regrets of not doing what you want. That
Yeah,
that's really
yeah.
exactly. Oh, great conversation, Stella. It's amazing. So
Thank you. I'm having fun so far.
it's so fun. Yes, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe to finish as for your Substack, anything you would like to say about the benefits of your paid subscribers?
Okay. All right. So this is something that is, of course, constantly evolving,
Of
but
course, yes.
just maybe a little
That's actually
more in depth.
one of the best practices to always change and
Always keep evolving.
yes,
Exactly. Exactly.
yes,
Exactly. And basically, so today everything I write is from my experience as a mother,
yeah,
as an advocate for lifelong learning, as someone who deeply believes in the power of intentional living. So currently, and it's really not about having it all figured out. It's about staying committed to the journey.
yeah.
Now, for my paid subscribers, they get instant access to my book. I have a book on Amazon,
Oh,
Family Time
great.
Unplugged. Yes, it's called Family Time Unplugged, Play, Connect, Explore. It's like a guide or like a workbook where that is designed to help you, or as a family person, create lasting memories
Yeah.
through a variety of engaging and educational activities, because I believe in play-based learning where that feels like play, but the child is actually learning.
Mhm.
And so it's for parents, guardians, caregivers who are looking to create meaningful family time. It could be weekday, weekends, or during the holidays, because I believe that every single time that you have with your child, there is always something that you can either take away, or your child can learn, or you can also learn from. Or you can just create an avenue for connection and for bonding. So it caters to children up to about 18 years, because these things they are so important. Now, it is fashioned more like a workbook or a guidebook, like I said earlier. And these are based on some of the things that I currently do with my
Yeah.
own children, some of the things that I I feel are important for children who are even
Yeah.
older than my own children's age. My children are age 6 and 8, but these are the activities
Oh,
in that book
yeah.
that the activities in that book that even children up until 18 years of age can do as well. There are things like traditions. Traditions, for instance, we're talking earlier about bringing out the child in you. Traditions are things that you don't outgrow. For
Yeah.
instance, during the Christmas holidays, for instance, we're very big on decorating the home, setting up a Christmas tree. We always
Amazing.
dance together to a song. We
Yeah.
choreograph a song as a family, and play it and all of that. We have things like Christmas carols. These are things that even when your child is a grandparent,
Yeah.
would always remember. Traditions are like, there's a way they hold it, they're like the glue that holds
Yeah.
families and family memories together. So there are a lot of things in the book: reading together, playing the keyboard, doing karaoke sessions, cooking together is also something that we do a lot in the house. And so this book just breaks down all of these activities into different times of the year. So the children have their own calendar in terms of during the school time. There's weekdays during the school time, weekends, what do they do, holidays, short holidays, long holidays. You don't just want the days to just waste away, right?
Yeah.
You always want to pick meaningful things, and blend them to be able to create that meaningful connection. So that I have that book and I give it instant access to my paid subscribers. I also have I call them guides, step-by-step guides on essential topics for thriving and as a parent and raising a thriving child. I have a store on Stella. Stella is a digital store just similar to Gumroad, where
Hmm.
I'm building materials and guides on topics. For instance, just short actionable items. Like I have the Focus Play Pack, which is a pack of activities that children age 4 to 12 can carry out
Yeah.
to help build their focus skills. For instance, there's something I do in the home of my children. I can give them grains of different size, and I ask them to start sorting it. They think it's play, but they're actually learning focus in that instance. Simple things like freeze dance, right? You're
Yeah.
actually learning focus, right? Because you have to dance, listen to the music and listen to it when it stops. Right. So I have that. I have the affirmations toolkit. This was something I came up with when my daughter, I think it was the older one, there was something around confidence, battling with confidence. So I came up with that affirmations toolkit where every day as they set out to go to school, I printed it out. So they have it's like a pack of 100 affirmations. I give them one every day. We read it out, we talk about it. So it could be anything. Today I have so much love to give. I can do anything my mind sets to do. Every month, just one short word, and I give it to them. We talk about it, and they go into their car. That takes them to school. So I have that as well. It's digital, but you can print it out, or you can just take the notes. You can put it on it. You can write the words on a sticky note, put it under the child's pillow, paste it to the bathroom mirror, put it in their lunch bag, or just print it out like I do.
Yeah.
I don't have it here. I would have give shared the pack, shared what it looks like. Okay, then. So this is what these are the cards. So this is the 57. I'm worthy of respect. And if you can
Oh,
say
yeah.
it.
Can you
Yeah,
lift it up a little bit?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. They
Okay.
say it.
Oh, great.
Right. So I have that here. So I
Yeah.
printed it out. But I mean, if you don't want to print it out, we can just take the words, write them out, or just read it to them,
Yeah.
put it in a sticky note and put it in their lunchbox, write it as a note to them. So I have that as well. I have a book on basic financing. It's called the Money Explorer Journal. Basically just teaching children how to save, how to track their expenses, how to record many monies they get. For instance, I give my children monthly allowances. They record it down. Whenever auntie or uncle comes into the house or just a family friend gives them funds, they put it down. So basically just, and sometimes they have a treat. They can take money from their purse and they buy something for themselves, or they want to get a gift for a friend or something they could take from there. At the end of the year, or how much did they save?
Yeah.
What did they get? Things like that. Then I also have another one, All About Me journal. That's a journal for going back to school. So for example, this is back to school season. And usually back to school into a new session, children are trying to transition into a new class as a new teacher. They may have some new friends, maybe new, some people are even changing schools altogether. So it could be a new school, a new environment, so something to help them settle down into that new school system. So I have all of that on my seller store, which are available to paid subscribers for free. Then, of course,
So much.
community access.
Yes.
And of course, private community access, chat, of course, chat on Substack is differentiated for paid subscribers. And also I have my book. I have a, will I say, higher version or a revised version of my current book on Amazon. So the current book on Amazon is like a guide, like a workbook, like I said. But now I'm rewriting it based off of my own story, my own experience, my own transformation. So why did I even start writing this book, for instance? Why did I even get to this point? What are the different stories that has happened over time in my own parenting journey? And, tying it down to all of these activities so that when the audience or when my readers are reading, it's not just a bunch of instructions. It's more about, there is that they are able to understand, put themselves in my shoes, or they're able to see,
Yeah.
feel what I'm trying to pass across, beyond just reading. So it's basically making it a
Yeah.
transformative experience. And why I'm rewriting that book is because I want it to just, like I said earlier, I want it to be beyond just, do this. I want people to understand why they are doing what they are doing, right? And that's why that book is basically based off of three pillars. The first one is that growth starts with you, which is what I've always said, because when you invest in your own growth,
Yeah.
you create the foundation for your child's success. The next one is that the next pillar is that your connection is very key, because building strong family bonds, through meaningful connection, that is the heart of thriving together. When your child is able to connect with you, that's the easiest way to get them to do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way
Yeah.
for them to just naturally flow and go with you. But when the connection is not there, you are trying to tell them what to do, but you've not connected with them. That
Okay.
means you are trying to control them. And there is no human being that likes to be controlled,
Yeah.
none whatsoever. Even a newborn baby, they
Yeah.
don't like to be controlled, right? And then the last one is raising resilient kids. So beyond the connection, beyond the fact that you need to grow, how do you equip your children and empower them to navigate life challenges with confidence, right? What kind of skills are you building in them? How are you building resilience in them? How are you building their activities that they do today? For instance, putting your children through sports, letting them learn a sport or a musical instrument. You are building resilience. Imagine a 4-year-old. My daughter started learning the keyboard at 4. Imagine a 4-year-old sitting down to understand musical notes,
Yeah.
right? That is teaching them focus, teaching them resilience. When you ask your child to go do something, you're teaching them independence, you're teaching them responsibility.
Yeah.
When your child makes a mess and you tell them, okay, so you've made this mess, clean up this mess, you teach them accountability. So
Yeah.
how are you empowering your children with skills to navigate life challenges with confidence? Through play-based learning. So that's, in a nutshell, is what that book is all about. And paid subscribers get source coffee access free, and of course, ability to give feedback, as I trade the book. Currently, I'm hoping to launch it by first quarter of next year. And then, of course, they are also able to, leave reviews and all of that. Yeah. So that's what I have for
Awesome.
now. Of course, we're going to keep evolving.
No, it's awesome. It's tons of value already. I think it's amazing. I think everyone who has children has to subscribe to you. So please, if you're watching and have children, make sure you subscribe to Stella right now. You have
Okay.
tons of value. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
great, great. Um, I so besides your book, are there any other books that you can mention that have influenced your life?
Oh, yes, quite a number. Even though I read a lot of fiction, but I do, in terms of other books that have influenced my life, number one for me would be Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers. This book helped me understand the hidden factors behind success, right? So success is not just about raw talent. There's more to it.
Yeah.
There's the fact that the opportunity, you have to present the right opportunity. Practice is there, so you can't eliminate. You can't say because this person is naturally talented, then you just things just happen well for you. No, you have to practice. You have to put in the work, which is part of all of the things that we've just been saying. And then the timing is also so key, right? It talked about Bill Gates, during Bill Gates' time, and a lot of other examples, even culture, all of these things play a role. And it helped me to understand that talent and achievement, or help me change how I think about talent and achievement, because it's not just about raw ability. Now, when I reflect on that and I say, okay, how can I pass it on to my children? I see that it's really about creating the right environment and the opportunities for growth, putting them in the right places,
Yes.
taking out these opportunities intentionally, and not just sitting back and thinking, no, things will just naturally come because I'm intelligent or because I'm brilliant. No, no, no. There are other factors behind success. The other one is The Five Love Languages by
I
Gary
know this
Chapman.
one. Yes.
This one helped me understand my children better, particularly when it came to how they receive and interpret love. My two girls are really different in
Yeah.
terms of how they receive and interpret love, whether it is through words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service, gifts.
Yeah.
Because as human beings, right, we naturally expect everybody to interpret and receive love the way we do. So for instance, I'm an act of service person.
Yeah.
I'm someone who, if you do things for me, right, as in I love it. But I can't expect everybody to be that way, right? So it helped me understand. And it's not even just my children, even my spouse and people generally, around. Everybody would not interpret and receive love the same way. But if they're able to speak their own love language,
Yeah.
right, then that helped me connect even more deeply with my own children, and helping them see that they feel seen and secure. Because so for instance, I'm not somebody who is very cuddly. So if you're thinking that physical touch would wow me, it's not. But
Yeah.
meanwhile, you are doing all you can. You're doing what you know how to do best.
Yeah.
But then it's not working for me. So, that also, in fact, that was a very big game changer for me. It helped me understand, why my first daughter, she would always want to run to you, to hug you, to,
Yeah.
right, while the other one likes words of affirmation when you tell her, you are this,
Yeah.
you're that, So it helped me understand them better. And then the last one, I think, Bringing Up Girls by James Dobson, of course, because I'm raising girls,
Yeah.
So this one has been valuable in my journey of raising my children. It's helped me understand the different stages of girlhood. They highlight the things that, girls need most at the different ages: security,
Yeah.
connection, also the bonding with a girl and the father, what it means and how it impacts them as they grow older. Yes, so
Yeah.
I think those three books.
Amazing. Yes, those are great books. Yes, people are gonna like them. Yeah. Great. Yeah. About the books, I will probably need your links so that I can link them on the
Okay,
yeah.
I'll send them to you.
People
I'll
can,
send it to
especially
you.
to your book, so that people can check it out on Amazon and see more about it and probably buy, hopefully buy as well.
Hopefully bye. I'll send the links to you.
Yeah, I think it's
All
from
right.
what I understand, I think it's a must-have if you have children for sure. So, for sure, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
One more question. Any productivity tips that you could share? People are often asking me about this, so I'm always asking everyone who I'm talking to.
We have opportunity to speak to. Okay, for me, I'm naturally an early starter, and I would say that's my biggest productivity. Well, okay, maybe not the biggest one, but one of the biggest. I'm an early starter. I'm somebody who I start my day very early, sometimes as early as 4 a.m. And so I think so. I've learned to. It's not so much how much you do or how much you do. It's more about how you structure your time. So not everybody starts early, but there's always a time of the day that you are more focused, more creative,
True.
less distracted. So that's the time that you should protect and guard jealously, right? And then, of course, do your other routine tasks at the other times. So I start my day very early. So that's when I do my thinking. That's when I do my best writing. Then I'll say my biggest productivity had to be, I'd mentioned to you that I'm somebody who I love stillness. I love that space for quiet, that space for no distraction. And I reflect a lot. That is my biggest productivity hack. I can sit still and go through all of my thoughts, go through, all of my actions and just soak myself in myself.
I love
And
that.
I learn from things that have happened, it's just by sitting in my silence, listening to my inner words. They all help me to process my thoughts better and make good decisions. I find that, that's when I'm able to come up with answers to nagging problems or things that I've been trying to figure out. I just find that I'm able to make better decisions
Yeah.
when I sit still. Yes. And then one thing I'm also trying to do is protecting time for rest.
Yeah.
I used to always feel guilty about resting, right? I always wanted to do. But this is something that writing has also taught me, right? It is
Yeah.
you need to protect time for rest. You cannot Productivity is actually about creating space for rest because if I don't rest, then I cannot show up to be my best. So those are the three things I'm practicing. Then of course, eating healthy, taking my fitness seriously. I'm not a gym girly, but at least the basic things I try to, I watch what I eat, I take my walks. What something I one thing I two things I always do daily. I
Yeah.
take walks in the evenings and then I skip. So I do like at least 100 skips every day. I
Yeah.
take walks in the evening, and then I am particular about my gut health. So those are the things that I'm currently doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, actually. So people would usually expect to say something like, for example, stay organized and use this tool and that tool and things like that. But actually, it's very much for the basics and how you take care of
Yeah.
yourself. I love
If you can start with the basics, it's amazing how we always want to do something so big, right? But I've realized that, those seemingly simple and little things, they go so far, like so much difference if you're just able to just be consistent in those little things in quotes,
Yes,
right?
yes. Awesome. Awesome.
Right.
Question. If money is not an issue, what would you do?
I would write and write and keep writing. I would write, I would travel the world. I would devote myself fully to writing. Writing is therapeutic for me. Writing is healing.
Yeah.
It's how I make sense of the world, and it's a gift I want to share with others. Something I also would also want to do is travel the world. My dad traveled due to his work. He traveled. He had the opportunity to travel a lot. He traveled to a lot of countries,
Great.
but he didn't take any of his children with him, and it's something that I know was a big deal that was missing in my own childhood, and it's something that I want to. It's something I'm currently trying to now, bring up for myself and also incorporate in as I parent my children. So I want to travel the world, experience different cultures,
Yes.
and weave those stories into my writing. Yes, so writing and traveling the world.
I love that. I love that. It's actually pretty much already what you already do. It's just more,
Exactly, exactly. Just more and more of it here.
more, yes.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for
yeah.
this awesome conversation. It was
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I had
Gonna
fun.
love it. Yes, and once
Yeah.
again, if you have children, make sure you subscribe to Stella. It's a lot
Yes,
of things.
please.
A lot.
Thank you, everyone.
Join me for a spotlight session like this. All you need to do is to join one of my monthly challenges, either notes or writing. Stay consistent and make sure you add yourself to the accountability tracker. Oh, and you have to be one of my paid members. If you complete just one of those challenges in just one single month, it's highly probable that I will select you for a spotlight session so that you can talk about yourself, share your personal story, and spread the word about your Substack so that more people will learn about it and hopefully become your subscribers. I distribute those sessions to my entire subscriber list on Substack, ConvertKit, now Kit, and my Medium account and my social media channels. It's easy to win those challenges, and all you need to do is just to stay consistent. I see you inside.